Hello there all, welcome back to Kalida Wisdom, my YouTube channel for intuitive messages, dream work and online readings, where also I would like to share some tips and tricks on how to develop your intuition and your inner voice and make it stronger so you can use it as a tool to guide you. First of all, welcome. My name is Kim, also known as Kalida, meaning everlasting. What I would like to share with you today is 3 tips on how to remember your dreams better, because that's the first thing you need to do if you want to work with your dreams. Also, the books that I found really helpful for lucid dreaming, but also on how to improve your dreams, how to have more useful dreams and how to work with them. I'll show each of them later. And last but not least, I would like to share a dream that I had this night, and maybe it will be somehow helpful for some of you. I was also confirmed that I should do this video because yesterday I was practicing calligraphy with this book called Heart of the Brush, which I highly recommend if you happen to do calligraphy. And it's a new to me hobby, which I started to do with a Chinese ink brush, to help myself focus, but also to practice my non-dominant hand, which is great for brain connections and also will strengthen your focus. It will strengthen your mental life. It will strengthen everything. So what I usually do is I open the book on a random page, and then I will practice whatever sign comes out. This is Shibui, in different scripts. And yesterday's sign was this one. I'll show you like this. And it's the Chinese sign for dream, which I think fits really nicely. Whenever I have synchronicities like that, I see it as a confirmation I'm on the right track. So we're going to talk about dreams today. First of all, 3 tips to remember your dreams better. First one is just to have the intention. If you decide, okay, I never remember my dreams, but I want to get better at it, and you are curious about the process, already this will put things in motion. You can make it practically easier for you by having a notebook next to your bed. And whenever you wake up and remember anything, write down what it was. It can be just one word or a concept or a feeling. It doesn't have to be much in the beginning. And just trying to remember, even if nothing comes out, this action of trying to dig in your memory for a specific area that has dreams will make this easier. So don't give up too soon. If you can do this for a couple of days, you will start remembering your dreams more and more and more. A practical tip for trying to remember your dream is to, as you wake up from a dream, not move your body. Stay in the same position. Maybe even keep your eyes closed and mentally repeat, or tell someone if you are not alone. Tell someone or write it down. But try to describe your dream, the feelings, whatever you can recall. This dream recall practice is the first prerequisite to start working with your dreams. A second thing you can do is just take care of your sleep hygiene. Try to not watch videos on your phone before going to bed, because it will influence too much your sleep. It may disrupt your sleep pattern. Make sure you're hydrated well enough. And don't worry if you wake up, if you have to go pee at night, that's fine, because if you wake up during the night and you fall back asleep, especially the last few hours before you have to get up, those are the cycles where your dreams where you have more dream cycles. So later in the night, you have more dream cycles. So if you wake up in between there and you fall asleep again, there may be more chance of you to recall your dream. So first, try to remember your dream. Tell yourself you want to remember. Then don't move when you wake up, and first thing you do, try to recall, practice the recalling. And then bonus tip is take care of your input straight before going to bed. So hydrate, don't eat too late. You may have troubles digesting, and this stress will translate into more stressful dreams, which is not what you want. And yes, take care to not just use your phone for random video watching or other things, not the news. Shield yourself from that kind of input, so your dreams will be more intuitive, will be more of the things that will actually help you, because your inner voice needs a bit of space, room and silence. One thing, a bonus tip, so 4th tip, one thing I noticed is my dreams become more clear and more useful when I do something with my brain that focuses me or calms me down. So this can be meditating, but if you don't like meditation, something like calligraphy or drawing or journaling can help. Third thing that can help is reading, but a book, something with paper, it's a different effect on your brain and your mind and your spirit if you read an actual book before going to bed. If that's not practical and you want to do something on the screen, Sudoku. I've 2 days ago I've installed a Sudoku app. I even paid for it, a couple of euros, so I don't have the advertisements in between. And I've done some Sudoku puzzles. It helps me fall asleep, but also the dreams have become more vivid, easier to remember, because I'm somehow using my brain. I'm making myself tired, but in a smart and good way. So Sudoku, try it out if you have trouble, and let me know if this works. By the way, in the comments, let me know if you are someone who has trouble remembering the dreams, or if it's easy for you. And if you have any other tips, also let me know. I would love to learn from you as well. Anyway, let's go on to the books. The books I'm reading on using your dreams as a tool to develop your intuition and yourself, your person, self-development. The first one I would recommend is this. I hope it's not mirrored. It's called Dreaming Yourself Awake by B. Alan Wallace. It's not super heavy to start with. This book is about, let me see the pages, 150 pages, so it's an easy read, well structured. It's in English, and for those of you who are new to working with lucid dreams, this is a great book to start. So Dreaming Yourself Awake, B. Alan Wallace, Lucid Dreaming and Tibetan Dream Yoga for Insight and Transformation. Very valuable. I read this about 10 years ago, and I just did a few of the practices here. A laying down meditation where you put a timer for 20 to 24 minutes and you just count your breaths to not lose focus and to not fall asleep, but stay in this middle zone. And this helped me, as a surprising side effect, to clear my allergies. I had a lot of hay fever, so bad that my face was all spotty, I couldn't breathe through my nose, and even medication did not help anymore. And by accident, doing this 21-minute meditation, 21 minutes on the floor, just laying down and counting my breath, that helped me clear my allergies for 24 hours. So I decided to do that daily until the hay fever season passed, and it really helped. So maybe it will help you. I made a blog post about this allergy effect. Maybe it's because it resets your mind into from fight and flight, because you're fighting the allergy, to calm your nervous system, to regulate yourself, and maybe that is what helped. I don't know why, but it really was surprising to me, and it also helped a few of my friends. So that's the first book. Second book is one that was advised to me by a fellow Kung Fu practitioner. Thank you, Ani. And it is similar, but it goes a bit deeper, a bit more into the source, into the actual Tibetan texts. And also it gives you tips on when you do lucid dreaming, how you can create a safe environment for you mentally and physically by putting a team together of guardians who will guard you as you sleep while you work with your dreams. Because I had, when I worked with lucid dreaming, some trouble with disturbances or like shadows that would wake me up, or nightmares that would come. And since I've used these tips in this book, it's been more calm and easier. So the title of this is The Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep by Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. I hope the pronunciation is more or less understandable. Practices for Awakening, forward by the Dalai Lama. So this is closer to the Tibetan origins of working with dreams for self-development, and I really enjoy it. I'm only 1/3 in. Let me see how many pages this is. This is a little bit longer. It's 218 pages. I am at page 50, and already I'm noticing a difference in working with a ritual that you do before you go to bed. You breathe in a certain way. Maybe you know this technique where you hold one nostril when you inhale and the other when you exhale, and you say to yourself things like, okay, I let go of all anger of the day. So you clear yourself before you go to sleep. I let go of all grasping or all looping thoughts, and I let go of all ignorance. And it's like a mini ritual that you do, and then you imagine yourself being surrounded by guardians who will protect you as you sleep, so you have no worries. You are free to have dreams that are useful. And then there's tips in there also on how to dream more lucidly, how to be aware that you are dreaming, both in your sleep as well as during daytime. And that, I think, is very, very valuable, especially in these days. The more awake you are during daytime, the more you will know what is true. And this is, in these days of dis and misinformation, it's very hard sometimes to know what is true. And this will help you connect more to your inner knowing. And that is, I think, something we all should do, something that should be taught in school. So this book, Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep, I'll put links to all of these in the description, by the way. Third book, that's the most recent one. It's very thin, only a couple of 80 pages, but big font. This one I like a lot because it has many beautiful illustrations that connect to the original Tibetan Dream Yoga. And what it is a commentary on the practices of this book. So this is based on the Mother Sutra, which is a Tibetan text that explains how to work with your dreams and your own inner self at night. And this book has illustrations, commentaries, and a practical, it's a teacher who taught a workshop about this practice, and this book has the notes of that workshop. So it's like a bonus. I'm reading both in parallel. I always read my books at the same time because I like how then things can connect and interweave. So those are my books. The 3, Dreaming Yourself Awake, the Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep, and then the last one, Commentary on Bringing Dreams onto the Path, from the Compassionate Son of the Mother Tantra by Gyalchen Milu Samyek. And this is the Mother Goddess, the Goddess of Dreams. That will help you. Okay. Now, let me know if this is helpful. If you like this kind of content, I am open to sharing anything that has helped me in the past few years. A bit of background. I have started working with my intuition as a young girl. My first hobby was watching clouds, so meditating out in nature. I'm a tree lover. I love connecting with whatever's around. That's also why I work today on my balcony whenever the weather permits. I like the calmness that it gives me, and also it takes me away from the overload of information, be it true or not, that we are bombarded with day and night. So as long as I can, whenever I can, I'm here out on the balcony. It's pretty quiet. It's not super quiet, but pretty quiet and pretty green. We have a nice view on the clouds. Anyway, so I started working with my intuition more consciously after my aunt told me, she did tarot cards for me, you should do tarot cards. And I was just a young girl, 11, and I thought, okay. I never thought much of it. And she told me that I should get my own deck and choose it very carefully. If you're interested in tarot cards, I will tell you the rest of the story in another video. Put yes in the comments and then you will get the tarot story. But for now, I kind of forgot about that. Then about 20 years ago, I started getting into tarot readings. And now recently, I found myself drawn to another deck of cards from Sami people. You'll see the first video of this channel has 2 cards that I drew for all of you as a collective. Go check it out and let me know if that one is resonating with you also. I'll be doing more readings with the Sami cards in the coming time, and also I'll be doing some live Q&A videos whenever I have enough subscribers. We now have 8, so thank you very much. It's a very new channel. We started 2 days ago. When I have 50 subscribers, I'll be able to go live and answer your questions on intuition, dream work, and whatever you would like me to talk about. Anyway, my dream of last night, after I did Sudoku and my little routine for dreaming, was a combination. There were 5 different dreams, but the first 3 felt most significant. The first one was I was in an office that I dream of more often. Whenever I know I need to do some administrative work, I am there. But this time it was a bit different. I was looking at a screen, a computer screen, and in that screen was a tiny boat. And on that boat, I felt was me, but also others. And the boat was representing dreams. It was a dream boat. Like a ship with no sails. It just was a boat with little people in it. And I was seeing it from afar, so it really was for me this big. And then the image zoomed out, and this boat appeared to be on the head of a beautiful lady that was dressed in gold and blue with long dark hair. And she was moving like a giantess. She was bigger than human. The boat with us in it, that was human size. And then there was this huge lady moving slowly around, and the boat was on her head. And that's all I got from that. But what it brought to me as a message was that there's more to this. There's more to our dreams. And if you are like a fish in a bowl of water, or if you are a fish in water, you don't know that you are in water until you zoom out, and you can see the perspective. You can see what's going on. It's like the turtle with the world in it. You can only see where you are when you get away from that, when you zoom out of this. And this is a great tip for life if you want to regulate yourself, or if you want to learn more about getting more conscious in life. Observing yourself from the outside, as if you're looking at a movie with you being the main actor or one of the main actors, and you can see what is happening, not within yourself only, like your emotions, your feelings, your impressions, but also you can see the context, you can see the other, and you can understand maybe both of them. You can understand the context and also what's around that, what is behind, what is underneath. What is the other person that you are talking to and maybe not understanding? What have they lived? Where do they come from? What is the context? Also for yourself. Why am I feeling triggered by this? Or why am I thinking that? Why am I believing this? You can go zoom out and know more. And this is something you don't need books for. You don't need someone else maybe someone to give you the hint like me. But this is something everyone has access to. Zooming out, just try it. And let me know if that helps. So this, I think, is the message from the first one. There's so much more. There's so much more than we in daily life, living our dreaming while we are awake, are conscious of, but we have access to that. If we are curious enough to zoom out, and if we take our time, not being busy, take our time to actually wonder what it is. Okay, second dream. Second dream was a bit more in person, but also a surprising ending. I was outside a building where there was a little place where one person was sitting behind glass, and in front of them was a row of people, and they were waiting for their turn to speak with the person behind the glass. It felt like a kind of judgment or an office of some kind. This building was only this one office. It was outside. So outside, a row of people. And I walked past this. I saw the person behind the glass. It was a lady that I did not know. And then the people waiting in line all had different colors clothing on. So they were sorted by color, like a rainbow. People in red clothes, people in yellow clothes, people in green. And all the way in the back. I knew I had to go to all the way in the back because what I was wearing was all black. I did not have any colors, so I couldn't fit into any of the groups. I had to go all the way to the back where there was an Asian lady and some other people. So I went to the back of the row and I waited patiently for my turn. Then once it was my turn, I spoke to the lady, and it turned out to be a kind of sports game organized by a big company that worked for the national TV even, so something important and sportsy, which I like. And I was somehow denied access because I couldn't understand what the lady was saying. I couldn't hear her because of the glass, and she lost her patience, and I was dismissed. So that was that, I thought. And I was walking away from this line of people, wondering what I did wrong, if I could have done something different, and feeling a bit disappointed. at myself for not being able to understand, and also disappointed as to I waited so long, I was hoping for this, and now it doesn't work. Then I saw someone else, and it turned out to be the lady behind the glass, and I could talk to her. So I crossed the street, talked to her, and asked her, okay, what was going on? What was this for? And why was I? How could this be that I could not understand? I tried to get an explanation or some closure, and she said, it's a good thing you were not in. For those people who got in, it's a way to control them, and it's dangerous. Well, so I was taken aback a bit, but I feel the bigger message in this, if this was not literally somewhere else, is if anything happened to you recently, where you were looking forward to something or were doing your best to achieve something or to be accepted at something, and you were denied, or it did not happen, or something came in between, you were blocked in some way, or you have to wait, don't worry. I think this was for your protection. I hope this is helpful. Okay, let me know if this first dream or the second one now resonates with you, and how. If yes, in the comments, I'd be very curious to know. The third dream I had was shorter and didn't go so deep, but I liked it anyway. That was a dream that I more often have when I was in an airport, and it was almost at the gate, and of course I remembered I did not have my identification. I had to go back to all the other side of the building, and my husband, Mr. E, was with me, so together we made our way to the other side of the building to get our identity. And this dream was more fun than usually this is stressful because there's a time limit. This time I knew I was able to jump far, to do a kind of parkour, so we were having fun with this assignment that we had. And by the time that I arrived at my bag that had the identification, it didn't feel important to me anymore to get that and to go back to the gate. I had lost my interest in that because I so much enjoyed what I could do that surprised myself while I was on my way to to fetch whatever I needed fetching. So I think the meaning of this third dream is, don't worry about the destination so much. We are here in this life to experience, to learn, to become better people, and maybe to share and to learn from each other. Maybe also to realize that nothing is separate. We are all part of nature. Without nature, there's nothing. We are all part of this universe, and our consciousness is not a singularity. We can connect with other people without touching them. Even through technology, we can connect to ourselves and expand our consciousness in such a way that we can help each other in different ways by helping ourselves first. So investing in your self-development, investing in your self-regulation, taking care of your health mentally, physically, spiritually, becoming more robust, and practicing your discernment, practicing your focus in whatever way you can, taking care of your sleep, taking care of what you eat, taking care of your input. If you do that, you will be more powerful in every way. And I think that's maybe one of the reasons that I started this channel. I want to empower you. I want to empower you, whoever you are, if you see this, because I believe that it's important. I believe it's so important to refocus and make yourselves how to say it, more powerful, more smart, more healthy, more loving, more kind, so we can help each other. Okay, so that's my preach. That's my preach. I will be stopping this video before it becomes too long. I hope this was helpful to you in some way. Let me know the tips for dreaming or remembering your dreams, the tips for better dreams, the book tips, or the dream interpretations, what resonated with you. Let me know. And if you have any questions or requests or wishes for our next video, let me know. I'll be back here in any case on 7th of October. I'll post a video with a card reading for the Aries full moon, which is my moon sign is Aries, and it's a super moon, so that always feels nice to do it. So I wish you a beautiful day. Hope this was helpful. Much love to you. Bye bye. See you in the next video.